Morning. Today is Tuesday, January 26th, 2021, and our I Can says I can use number bonds and chocolate bars to decompose fractions. So let's start with 1 on this page. I know I don't have much room, but we like to use every inch of our paper, front and back, so we are paper savers. I'm going to start with the fraction 3/4. Now we worked with this one yesterday a little bit. Let's draw 3/4 into a chocolate bar. So I'm going to start with a chocolate bar, and I want to split it into fourths, which means I need to draw how many lines down? 3. 1 in the middle and 1 on either side. Now to show 3/4, well, let's go ahead and label them 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. We know each piece is worth 1/4, right? But let's go ahead and color in 3/4. 1, 2, 3. When I look at my coloring, it's easy for me to see, is that more than half of the chocolate bar or less? If you got 3/4 of the chocolate bar, that's more than half. And my picture tells us that. This section shows 3/4. So I used my chocolate bar, I've labeled 3/4. Now we want to take 3/4 and break it apart. And there are several ways we can do that. So I'm going to rewrite 3/4. 3/4. And I want to start by breaking it apart into 1/4 sized pieces. So I could have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. That would give me 3/4, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1, that gives me 3/4. Or I could try it this way. I'm going to draw 3/4 again, different number bond. I could have 2/4 and then 1/4 more. That would still give me 3/4. So this number bond is a way to represent what we're doing with our pieces. We could have 3 separate pieces, or I could have 2 pieces and 1 piece, and they still equal 3/4 when I put them together. Now, if I look at my picture, I could also say, let's see here, there's 1, 2, 3. I had to make 3 big jumps that were 1/4 big each, and that gives me 3/4. We'll come back to this. Don't worry if that's confusing right now. This is what we're working on for today. All right, so number 2. I'm going to use 4/6. When I can, I like to write my fraction so I don't have to squish it and give everything its own line. So for 4/6, I'm going to make a chocolate bar. I try to make all of my chocolate bars about the same size. I write on my blue line so my chocolate bars aren't running away. They don't need to be as big as your whole page, right? And I want to show sixths. To make sixths, how many lines down would I need to make? That's right, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, not so bad. I know that this is 1/6, and 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 this is 1/6. So to get 4/6, I'm going to take my colored pencil and I'm going to color in 4 of the pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that shows me 4/6. This right here. This is 4/6. Let's think of different ways that I could make 4/6. So I'm going to bring my number bonds over here. 4/6. I bet we can come up with at least 3 ways. 4/6 and 4/6. All right. What's one way that I could make 4/6? Looking at my picture, I could do 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6. And if you notice, the denominator never changes. If it's sixths, it always stays sixths. Even when I add them up, it still stays sixths. This equals 4/6. Let's think of a different way we could split it. I could have one piece for me, and I could give 3 to Miss Pellegrino. So that would be 1/6 plus 3/6. That would still equal 4/6, wouldn't it? Sure. All right. Let's think of another way I could split it. Ooh, I'm going to share with Miss Allen. All right, I've got 2 pieces for me and 2 pieces for her. So that would be 2/6 plus 2/6. These are all different ways of making 4/6. And like we talked about last time, I could also count the total number of pieces I have. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And I could say 4 times 1/6 equals 4/6. All right, moving on to number 3. Number 3 and 4 go together, so we're going to start with number 3, and I'm going to show 5/5. Hopefully you had little bells going off in your head. Ding, 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 5/5. I know what that equals. We've talked about that before. I need to make my chocolate bar to show fifths. So how many lines down do I need to make? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5/5. The total is 5/5, or 1 whole. And I have the whole thing. So I need a color that can color all of those in. How about yellow? Got some good looking chocolate bars. Now, what happens if I put an extra piece on the end? Now, this is my whole chocolate bar. This is 1 whole. But I have an extra piece. How big would that extra piece be? Because this wouldn't be 5/5 anymore. Now I have an extra 1/5 at the end. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. This is 6/5 now. So my 5/5 does equal 1 whole chocolate bar, but with an extra piece, that equals 6/5 of my chocolate bar. And 6/5 is not a nice fraction. This is what we call an improper fraction. It just looks wrong, doesn't it? It's improper because we have a bigger number on the top. It doesn't look quite right. So we call it improper. All right, so this is my 1 whole up here. Now I want to take 6/5 and I'm going to decompose this twice. I have 6/5, 6/5. I'm going to decompose it 3 times just to show that we have 3 different choices. This is our last one. I'm going to take 6/5 and I want to break this number up into pieces. Well, the first way I could break it is I could do 1/5 size pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would give me 6/5. Who can think of another way that I could make 6/5? I could do 3/5 plus 3/5. That would still give me 6/5. And then lastly, and really there are many other ways I could pick, but this is the last way I want to talk about because this is the way we showed up here. I had 5/5 to equal my 1 whole. So I'm going to take out 5/5 and I'm going to add 1/5 more. And that would equal 6/5. 5/5 plus 1/5 equals 6/5. Now, when you do your practice today in your green book, you want to make sure that you label your one hole like I did here. Find where your one hole is and then count your pieces and then add on your extra piece. Otherwise, it will seem confusing. We're going to work on lesson 2. It's on pages 11, 12, and 13. Have a good day.